What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another episode of The Mix. I'm your host, Annie K. Anderson, and we have a very, very special guest today who's joining us. Today's guest is a visionary entrepreneur who's redefining the creator economy. She's the founder and CEO of Forefront, the first influencer in UGC marketplace dedicated to BIPOC brands and creators. Y'all, we got Jordyn Weaver in the mix.
Hey.
Hey. How are you doing today?
Feeling good.
Feeling good? Yes, I love the outfit. I love the pink.
Thank you.
I love the silver. It's all going together. I know we were talking about it off camera, but how has your morning been? You were telling me about church.
Yeah, my morning has been good. I spent some time at church with the Lord. I went to 2819 church, what I was telling you about, and it was a good message, a message I needed to hear. Shed a couple tears.
Yes.
And then I brushed over here. Got dressed and came here, and
Now
I'm
we
excited.
Now we talking it up.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I encourage everyone to at least take some time to do that on a Sunday. It's nice.
It's important.
Nice little reset.
Yeah.
The first question I wanted to ask you was, I know you're originally from North Carolina, so what made you move to Georgia?
So I moved to Georgia originally just to be closer to my twin sister. She moved out here during the pandemic, and that's, my bestie, my girl. So I was like just visiting her during the pandemic, and I was contemplating going to California because that's where I was doing my master's. And I was just like, Atlanta just has a different vibe that I won't get in California, especially not Irvine, California. So really just experiencing just the culture in Atlanta, the Black excellence. It just felt like the perfect place for me to be, to grow as a Black woman entrepreneur and just be around other dope, amazing people. So that was really just what led me here, and I love it. I've been here since 2021, so I'll be approaching 4 years in June.
Okay.
I love it.
Yeah, you've been growing wonderfully in the community. I've been Forefront obviously is something that a lot of people are being drawn to. So I love that for you. That kind of reminds me of what's it called with twins, the invisible string theory or something like that. Where it's like
Telepathy.
y'all, maybe you
talking about?
same vibe. But yeah, y'all have to. Sometimes y'all have, yeah, exactly.
Or break. Are you saying we gotta say connected or?
Yeah, no, that's what I was saying. Yeah. Yeah, definitely. But I want to get a little bit more into your background. You grew up in North Carolina. So what experiences influenced your passion for technology and creator in the space that you're in right now?
So I kind of always been an entrepreneur. I didn't really know it back then until I got to college, but I was just always passionate about entrepreneurship. My sister and I, we would do lemonade stands, pet sitting, babysitting. So we would just do stuff like that just to hustle, make money in the summer, for school supplies and, just schools for the next school year. And, I guess that's kind of always been ingrained. But honestly, I come from parents who are entrepreneurs. So it's I don't even remember too much of my parents working a 9-to-5. They had a nonprofit that they started together, and that was back when we lived in Indianapolis where I was born. It was a mentorship program for boys, and then we moved to Charlotte because my dad started a church, and obviously it's a church, but it's also kind of something he's building from the ground up. And so just seeing them, build that together, that was definitely my inspiration to kind of I want to have that flexibility, that freedom to just live the life that I want to live, be able to spend time with my family. So that was something that I've always enjoyed and admired. And so it wasn't until I got to college where I was oh, I could actually be an entrepreneur.
Yeah.
Growing up, I wanted to be a pharmacist, from middle school up into freshman year, and I realized that was just not my calling once I got to Central. But I think it was definitely divine for me to end up at Central because I was about to go to FAMU. And then, it would have been lit. But honestly, looking back on just where my life is now, I feel like I was definitely called to be at Central because it's definitely tied in and it correlates with a lot of things that I'm passionate about now. So at Central, I just learned a lot about just the Black wealth rate and just what's happening in the Black economy, and that was just something that struck me, and I just felt like I have to do something about that.
Yeah.
So I remember being in college and working at P.F. Chang's at the time, and I just had this question mark of why don't I see Black-owned businesses to this caliber that I could work at or that I can go and sit down and have dinner at. I mean, obviously, like I said, this was Durham. Atlanta is a completely different story. You can find that a lot more here now, especially 2025. But I just was really compelled to try to see how we can get more Black-owned businesses to that type of caliber. And so that was really like the turning point to my entrepreneurial journey and my passion to like using Black-owned businesses and supporting Black-owned businesses as a way to close the wealth gap. And I strongly believe that entrepreneurship is a huge way that we do that. And so
absolutely,
that's kind of how that started.
Absolutely. I love that. And I love that there are people like you who are like interested in doing that. I don't feel like a lot of Black people in our community, we don't feel like we have other avenues to make money outside of, working 9 to 5. So I really do appreciate what you're doing.
Thank you.
Was Forefront the first of your businesses like under your entrepreneur belt, or did you have a different startups?
And no. So in college, I actually started the Black Market Company just out of my passion for seeing more people shop and support Black businesses. So that was something I started, I want to say, my sophomore year in college. And then from there, like, I was able to go on and do pitch competitions and, win some money. We launched our own Empire Awards, which was really cool, where we got to award Black-owned businesses in the, Durham area. So that was really cool. Yeah. So that was like my first start, but Forefront was kind of like a byproduct of that, or it kind of stemmed from that. So once I graduated from Central, I got my master's from UC Irvine. I got my master's in innovation and entrepreneurship. And I always have been very innovative and entrepreneurial. I always had a whole bunch of ideas, but didn't know the first thing to do to get it started.
Yeah.
And so I knew I had a big vision for, at that time, the Black Market Company, but also didn't really know how to take the vision from my head and like make it a reality. So had an opportunity to go to UC Irvine on a full ride, which is a blessing to God for sure. Yeah. And that was where I really kind of learned the steps to like take an idea and, build it out and make it a scalable business. So technology, I'm like not really a tech girly. Like I don't code or things like that, but I have ideas. And obviously with Forefront, we're leveraging technology to be able to connect brands and creators. And so it's just, for me, being able to just find solutions. I call myself a cultural innovator because finding solutions that impact our culture and things that we need as a Black community. So that's kind of, I guess technically Forefront is my second business. Okay. If you want to call it that.
Oh, that's great.
Thank you.
Do you have a team with Forefront, right? How important is it for you to like have a team or have a group of people that understand the vision as well?
It's really important because, one, I work a full-time job on top of Forefront, and then just like having a huge vision, like it's something that you just can't do alone. I'm, one person. I have my own specific skill sets and strengths and weaknesses, and so it's important to find a team that, one, believe in your vision, that can kind of keep you going when, you're not feeling the most encouraged. Yeah. And ensuring that you have people who can also see different things that you're not seeing, where they can add value in ways that you can't, or that you're not seeing. And so we do have a team. We're actually starting to expand our team. So we have Alton, who's our head of product, and he's kind of been with Forefront for the past couple of years, who started off as like a contractor, kind of helping us with our website and just getting things in order on that tech side. And then he had a lot of just experience working with commerce businesses, which is, the flip side of the marketplace outside of the creators. And so he had a lot of knowledge that we wanted to be able to bring into Forefront so we can continue to support, these commerce brands on the platform. Absolutely. And so he's been on the team for a while. And after we finished that project, I'm like, hey, would you want to work with us? Like, help me really build this thing out and, share equity and things of that nature. And then we recently just brought on a new partnerships coordinator who's really going to help us to keep the marketplace running and making sure we have the influencer partnerships, just managing that in the best way possible, connecting with the brands, making sure they have everything they need, as well as the creators, and making sure, all the partnerships go well from beginning to end. And so we're working to continue to expand and grow, but a team is definitely really important because, you can't do everything alone.
You can't. And a lot of people, if you are starting off, obviously, like, get the foundation of your business out of the way and stuff, but still be open to having a team to help you push your vision and stuff. I definitely agree with that. What are some of the major challenges that you faced when building Forefront?
Honestly, when people ask me that, I don't say the expected answer, I guess. Like, I think the biggest challenges were just overcoming just like the internal and like the mental stuff. Like, being an entrepreneur is very much a mental game, and you really have to, learn to trust yourself, learn to trust your gut, your instincts, learn to believe in yourself, learn to like get out of your head and like get out of your own way. So I would say that has been the biggest challenge for me, which I'm very grateful for, because it's definitely a labor of love in a good way. Like, it's, it's a good feeling to see myself be able to get up and like pour into my dream, my vision, even though it's not easy, even though times like, I feel like I don't want to do this anymore, or just things are not going my way, and just being able to still like push myself to continue. Because entrepreneurship is very hard, just on top of like life's challenges. Like I said, I work a full-time job too. Like, there's so many reasons out there that kind of like would drive you to like just quit, or maybe this is not my lane anymore. But I think just having the courage just to continue to show up every day, even when you don't want to, or even if you don't feel like you're qualified, and just showing up. I think that's been the biggest challenge that I have been able to overcome, but it's something that constantly comes up because there's always going to be other challenges. And so I think just that mental block is one of the hardest challenges. But once you get past that and, you kind of get out of your head, it's kind of just like
easy sailing. Yeah, I definitely agree with that. What has been Forefront and yourself are two things that I feel like has impacted a lot of people. Like, I know you have met people that has felt very inspired by you. But I want to know, what is the biggest impact for you since creating Forefront? Like, what has been the most nurturing, impactful thing?
So you're asking like what has been the most impactful, like for like myself or the business, not necessarily who we have impacted?
Right.
Okay. I would say going through Black Ambition, that has been an amazing opportunity. For those who don't know, it's Pharrell Williams nonprofit that he uses to invest in Black and Latinx founders. And after trial and error and applying and getting denied after a few times, we were awarded and we became the HBCU Grand Prize winner for 2024. And that was definitely a huge testament to just never giving up and like not taking no for an answer, but also just recognizing the areas that you have to grow. But, we went through multiple seasons of just denials and rejections from like other programs, accelerators, grants and things of that nature. And so being able to go through that program again for the fourth time and be able to walk out and be like the first place winner for the HBCU prize, that was definitely...
Congratulations. That's amazing.
Thank you. That was definitely just a confirmation for myself from God. I was like, really, I remember being in that moment, like in that season, I'm like, God, I don't know if this is what you want me to do anymore. Like, things are just not working out. I need you to really show me, like, is this for me or not? Because let me know and I'll just go do that. But once I did that pitch competition and won first place, it was just like, okay, well, that's a good sign. And
absolutely, that's a good sign.
We won $50K from Black Ambition, and that has been very impactful because just bootstrapping our own company with very little money and, just trying to make ends meet and trying to figure it out, just being able to have an amazing organization to support us, not even just financially, but just really putting us in positions, putting us in rooms that we should definitely be in.
Absolutely.
So I'm very grateful for that opportunity and that experience and to be a part of the Black Ambition family, because that's definitely been impactful, and I'm excited to just continue to grow with them.
Yeah, I am looking forward to seeing what Forefront has in store in the future. What was it like meeting Pharrell? Like, what?
It was so cool. I mean, so I wasn't really sure if I was going to get a chance to meet him. Like, for a demo day, they took all the founders to New York for the demo day, where some of the founders from the, like, national prize got to go up and pitch for the $1 million prize. And so, because we were part of, like, a different program, I was like, I'm not really sure if I'm going to be able to meet him, but I'm going to dress cute just in case.
Yes.
And then they were starting to announce, like, the HBCU prize winners, and so it was really cool. I went up there and I gave him a hug. We got some pictures with this big old check, and also had a chance to kind of like speak to the audience and tell them about Forefront, because we were part of a different program. I didn't really pitch in front of the audience. Right. We weren't part of the pitch competition for that demo day, and so it was a great opportunity to still be able to, you know, right next to Pharrell, just tell everyone what we're building and, you know, why we're building it. And it's been amazing. And we were just in New York with Black Ambition for like a learning labs that they had. And
we had the Louis Vuitton?
Yeah, Louis Vuitton and Visa. And so we had a call with Pharrell and Visa's CMO. I think his name is Frank. Hope I didn't mess that up. But and it was like a video call. He's out on a yacht, just living his best life, just finished up the Met Gala. And I'm just like, I want to be like him when I get older.
But look at what rooms you're in.
Yeah,
now.
Oh my God.
You're going to be like him. 100%.
Yes, for sure. Yeah. And I'm, again, so grateful for Black Ambition for that. Like, being able to meet the president of Louis Vuitton and the CMO of Visa, and like actually be in position to actually embark on partnerships if that's something that we desire. So it's not even, like I said, it's a lot more than just funding or even just pictures for the gram. It's like it's a lot of opportunities that they're like providing for us. So I'm
absolutely, yeah. What advice can you give to similar entrepreneurs that are like seeking opportunities like that? Like, what's one of the biggest challenges that you faced when pitching and doing stuff like that? What do you think changed in the last time to make them?
I think I just got a lot more clear on what I was building and why. I think it was also timely. I think it was a time thing too. But I think ultimately you got to just keep applying. I had a lot of friends who might have reached out, who might have applied to Black Ambition or other programs, and they're like, I don't know if I want to apply again. I'm like, I almost didn't apply again, and I almost missed out on $50K. So I just say, like, continue to apply. Like, being an entrepreneur is a lot more than just applying to grants, applying to programs, being accepted into programs. And I had to learn that while I was being rejected. I'm like, all right, like, this is not even what it's about. I have to still build a business. I have to still go out and get customers. I have to still go out and validate this business. And so that's kind of what switched for me, was like, okay, outside of this application, I still got to do the work. You know, they're going to be looking at what changed from this year to last year. And so that was what clicked for me. I think I got so caught up on the opportunities that were out there and just applying and kind of mistaking that as the work of an entrepreneur, but it's really not. Like, your job is to go out, get customers, and make money for your business, and then investors and opportunities will come. So I think that was the turning point for me. But ultimately, I would tell any entrepreneur to just continue to apply, get feedback. Don't take the no's to heart. Obviously, it's disappointing, but there's always something that you can improve, and it's kind of up to you to figure that out or get the support and advice from other people to figure out how you can improve to better your chances.
Yeah, and tap into your community, because there are so much opportunities. I wanted to talk about the Black Girls in Media conference this year. Earlier this year, Jordyn was a part of the fireside chat with her sister Jessica. What was that experience like for you?
That was really dope, because it was my first time doing like a live fireside chat like that for my company Forefront. And just how things transpired, it just kind of worked out perfectly. It was like an amazing audience, Black Girls in Media, and Tasha, she's from Charlotte, so it was great to come back home to the hometown and be a part of this event and really just connect with the audience. There's so many creators in there who stopped by our table after that, and they were just like, I've been needing this, I've been looking for this, and they're looking for that support, they're looking for that community, and they're looking for people to believe in them, and that's really what Forefront is for both brands and creators. But that conversation was really dope. One, just being on stage with my twin sister, like,
that's a flex. Like, what?
No, and it was so interesting because, you know, a lot of times people see me like on stage sometimes talking and they feel like I just do it like I'm just a natural, that I'd be nervous.
No, you literally, I'm listening to you, but I'm also like, wow, like she's so good at this.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. But like I'd be nervous, and
Girl.
that was the one time that I was just like, I don't know if it was maybe because I had like a drink a couple too, like before. I don't know, but I genuinely think it was because my twin sister was next to me, and I never really get a chance to bring her on a lot of these opportunities because she's just doing her own thing, her real estate stuff, her content creation and stuff too. So that was a really dope opportunity to be able to bring her on stage and have her help me tell the story of Forefront and why we built it and why it's so important. And so that was really dope, and we connected with a lot of creators, and looking forward to more opportunities like that.
Yeah, definitely. How does it feel to be like celebrated in your hometown in that way?
It was dope, and it makes me want to like make sure I get back to Charlotte and do it, because Charlotte is so up and coming right now. There's so much happening even in the creator space, and I want to make sure that Forefront has a footprint in that and can really help to cultivate that type of those opportunities for other creators. There's so many amazing creators that are from Charlotte. Like one of my favorites is Cadence. I don't know if you know Cadence.
I love Cadence.
She was at the event. I got to meet her. She's the cutest little thing. But like, yeah,
she's amazing.
Yeah, and so just seeing so many amazing people come out of Charlotte, just growing their platforms. I want to be able to help others to grow in that way. And so Charlotte is definitely my home. I want to make sure that Forefront has a footprint there. So we're planning to do a few things coming up, maybe some events, some, creator dinners and things of that nature. But we're definitely going to make sure that we tap into the Charlotte market, because Charlotte is booming.
It is booming. Yeah. I love Charlotte.
Me too.
Yeah. What can we expect? Any things that we can expect from Forefront in the near future?
Yeah, so we have been revamping up our marketplace, our influencer marketplace. And so that's like one of the biggest things. Now we're working on continuing to onboard more brands and creators, and so that's the biggest focus right now. And so what our marketplace, what that really allows creators to do is find these brand partnerships, find brands that align with them, their audience, their hobbies, their interests. And it's not just getting a check. Obviously getting a check is important, but we want to really prioritize just the partnership and longer term partnerships and relationships. And so we're really helping creators, BIPOC creators specifically, get more deals, get paid opportunities to really earn and thrive online, but also doing the same for brands, making sure they can get the visibility online, making sure that people know about their products, and making sure that they're leveraging UGC or user-generated content to share with the audience how dope their products are. And so we're just providing them a platform to make it easier for them to find like-minded creators to help them grow their brands on social media. So that's one of the biggest things, just really growing that and just growing our, profiles from the brands and the creator side. And then additionally, we want to just get out and do more. Like, obviously, working with creators. Creators love experiences. They love to be out and invited to places. Exactly. They want to be invited to places and get their cameras out. So we want to do more experiences like that, but ultimately just really build our community. So as I mentioned, some of the things that we're trying to do both in Charlotte, Atlanta, and even if it gets to other cities, that's going to be amazing too. For sure. We want to do more events, whether it might be like mixers, creator events, connecting them with brands, and then just maybe some dinners. Like we have a lot planned that we're trying to do in that space, but also I think the biggest focus is like really cultivating a strong community of brands and creators, and so. Yeah. That's really our next step.
Yeah. Where can people find more information about Forefront?
So on all social media platforms, you can find us at forefrontatl.com. Forefront ATL. And on our website, you can find us forefrontatl.com. And that just has more details about the marketplace for a brand, for creators, and you can sign up and create your free profile and start connecting and landing these partnerships.
Definitely. So one thing I like to ask all of the guests is, what's one piece of advice that you can give since being in this journey for yourself? What's one thing you've learned, or what's one piece of advice that you can give to our viewers in the mix?
I would say you have to get out your own way. Like, there's nobody else getting in your way. I don't care if you feel like somebody is being petty and blocking you from different things. Like, I think it's everything is just a mindset, a mental game, and you really have to get out your own way. I've recently learned just the amount of stories I tell myself to, like, count myself out in different ways, and you don't realize you're doing it, but, like, you are essentially in charge of your success. Nobody else is. And so just getting out your own way, just believing in yourself, and just finding ways to make it happen. After any no's, any rejections, you still got to get up and continue to build.
Yeah.
So
yeah, you are your biggest cheerleader.
Yeah,
honestly.
definitely.
But, yeah, that's great advice. Thank you.
Yes.
To our viewers, thank you for watching this episode of The Mix. Jordyn, thank you so much for joining me. This was amazing. We will see you next time. Deuces.
Peace.